Well, really, the climate is everything, and we all benefit from a better climate. But most importantly, the real reason that I think I do this work and that I want to help businesses drive down emissions is that it's going to impact the people who have contributed the least. So even though we'll feel it here in the UK, we're quite lucky compared to a lot of places around the world that are going to feel the impacts much sooner and more intensely than we will.
So my role's sort of split into two different elements. So I have the training part of my role, in which I go down to businesses, either online or in person, and I deliver training so that their workforce understands what net zero is, they understand what they can do in their role to actually reduce emissions in their organisation. And through that, we end up having a very engaged workforce, so everyone's going on that sustainability journey together. So that's the training element. And then in the other side of my role, I actually measure the carbon footprint of the organisation, so we understand where are those carbon hotspots. And after that, we can look at targeting those emissions reductions and building that carbon reduction plan and building that net zero strategy, so that we're not anymore just shooting for the stars with not really much aim. We have that full strategy and we can make a real progress towards reducing our emissions.
I think we're starting to now get to a really exciting part of some of our clients' journey where we're engaging with a lot more people within the organisation. We're also starting to engage with their wider value chain, so their suppliers, for example. And that's where I think a lot of the benefit, a lot of the huge value in the net zero work we're doing will start to come. Because typically for businesses, 80–90% of your carbon emissions fall within your supply chain. So obviously that is a huge place to start tackling for businesses, and it's where we can start to see the biggest impact. So we're now doing a lot of that with clients. We're looking at how we can build that engagement with our suppliers and get them on board. So again, we're looking at how can we make the whole process more understandable, more accessible, more fun, what's going to help them to understand this journey to net zero and why it's so important and how it links very intrinsically to their business performance, their profitability, but also, social value and wider environmental impact. So I think that's probably the sort of biggest, most important part of the work we're doing at the moment.